So the panel has, just to repeat, I mean, it's already behind us, is Unconventional Strategies for Building Resilient Challenger Brands in India. Okay, it's a mouthful, and I'll tell you one thing. It's, to my mind, it's also, I think we'll keep it just open-ended because it's not a very structured thing. So to my mind, this thing is really about innovation, okay, about trying new things. So could you, each of you, tell the audience a little about your brand? Would you like to start? Just tap it once. Could you just tap it once? Could you just tap it once? No, not working?
Hello.
Hi everyone, this is Isha and I'm representing Clinikally as their head of brand marketing here today. At Clinikally, what we are doing is really novel. We are essentially trying to democratize accessibility to quality dermatological care in India. If you go to any offline clinic in India today, in any tier 1 city, you'd know that a dermatologist on an average would charge you anywhere between 1,800 to 2,500, not including the long prescriptions that they'd write you, all the products that you'll have to buy. That kind of prevents the normal Indian folks to kind of visit a dermatologist, get the right treatment that they would want at the right time. That is what we are essentially democratizing by making it affordable. We have a consult offering wherein we charge only 250 rupees for a 30-minute consult, after which you can get a prescription. The same that you can buy from our robust platform, wherein we have over 200 plus brands that are available as well.
200 brands?
200 plus brands.
Other than yours?
Other than ours, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool. Thanks. Prateek, what about you? We do know, but still.
Yeah, it's difficult to introduce Acko now, especially in Bangalore.
I know.
But I'll do my best. Acko, I don't know how many of you are customers, Acko customers. Please raise hands.
My
if you're
goodness. Can I invest in your company? I think it's really, it's too
That's
late.
So no. Yeah.
Okay.
Acko, obviously born in, brought up in Bangalore, born in Bombay, 2006, 2007. It's been what, I think 7 years now for Acko. We started off as a primarily direct-to-consumer auto and micro insurance company. But just recently we've expanded into health, life, and travel insurance as well. The overall purpose is to become a protection destination for millions of Indians. And obviously, as man said, the Saif Ali Khan, Sara Ali Khan campaigns, the Munna Circuit campaigns, and everything else that we do around it is all of us trying to achieve that mission.
Okay, great, wonderful. What about you, Sidhharrth?
So, hello, good evening everyone, thank you so much. So, talking about NumroVani, we are purely an astrology-powered brand. So, however, we are trying to solve business challenges with the powered by intellectual wisdom of Bharat. So, be it Ayurveda.
No, so how does everything is online?
Yeah, so it's rightly it's a digital. You have online and offline both. So rather we are trying to be innovative. So at the moment I speak, in the morning itself we had a patent published for us, where we have.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
So we have our patent published.
Okay.
So what we have done is that we have created a unique persona of a person purely based on astrology, Ayurveda, and numerology. And that persona can be used to target anything, be it from the marketing to your wellness programs to wherever you visit. So we are on a mission to take this intellectual wisdom of Bharat backed by the evidence and the data. And that data comes to the research papers, patents that we file. So right now we have more than 10 plus patent applications pending across geographies. And right now today morning we got one of them published.
Very
and,
good, that's really good. So are most of your customers in India or are they outside?
So right now our 30% of the customers are outside India. So somehow we have not been able to convince Indian businesses on the worth of the intellectual wisdom. But however, we have been able to crack it in Middle East and US. So that is where our primary clientele comes out.
Okay. So I think what we are doing is that all the businesses, okay, and perhaps what we should do is we should also consider businesses other than the ones you represent, if you can think, okay. So one is that if you're a challenger brand and you're late in the business, right? You have come in late. You will do the regular things, of course, product, price, place, promotion, etc. Right? So I think what we are trying to do in this panel is discuss what are the unusual things new brands could do, okay, to basically get acceptability among consumers. All right. So you have been around, your Acko has been around longest. You've also been with Acko for many years?
No, I've been 10 months.
Just 10 months, okay. So let's look at, would you like to look at what Acko has done, which has been unusual because insurance is just packed with heavyweights, right? And they've been around for a very long time. So what are the kind of things, so by the way, I have also one more suggestion. I've actually made a list of what are the kinds of things that newer brands can do. Okay, so this is not a complete list. I'm just reeling it out, and then it's just like you can pick up anything you like or something else. So if you look at, one is about positioning yourself distinctly. I mean, that is for sure, because if you're coming late, the market is presumably crowded and you have to find a proposition which strikes people as different. I think innovation in every sphere is definitely, a prerequisite. Also, it would have to do, I think, with whether you can make the customer experience really extraordinary. I think Acko has also done a lot of that, right, on that score. Whether we can use communities, for example, you have people with skin disorders. Can you create something around there? Could you gamify the business in some way? So I'm listing out what I thought were unusual ways in which newer brands can gain attention and gain consumer interest. Personalization, of course, but as somebody said, listen, we have been talking about personalization now for 5 years. And one is, of course, being provocative, I think, and user-generated content. So these are the things that struck me. But from Acko's experience, what would you say? Because I think, how old is NumroVani?
Around 3 years now.
You're 3 years, yeah. And Clinikally is also young, right?
Around 3 years, yeah.
It's 3 years, right? So Acko's just been there longer. So what are the things Acko's done to basically find a place and find a foothold in the insurance business when you look back?
Yeah, no, so I'll talk about Acko also, and I'll talk about my previous stint as well, which was with Wakefit. So I have
Which was it?
Wakefit,
Okay, huh.
which is a D2C mattress and
Yeah,
furniture
yeah.
brand.
Oh, they were really.
So even they are a challenger brand, challenging Sleepwell and Duraflex and the industry leaders.
Yeah, please feel
if you
free.
say,
Yeah.
right? Firstly, talking about Acko, right? Let's understand what challenger brands are. Let's define what challenger brands are. Challenger brands are someone who are not market leaders, but they are also not a niche. They are quite. Challenger brands is also not about revolutionary service or flashy products. What they have done and what they are best at is identifying a pain point, which currently the system has ignored. So when it comes to insurance, the pain point was convenience, the pain point was claims processing, the pain point was commission. And all of that was ignored by the insurance players, and it was understood that this is the strategy, which is what...
Tell me one thing, I want to interrupt you. How does it happen? Because, this morning there was an absolutely phenomenal keynote address by Mr. Rakshit Hargave. He's the CEO of this very giant company called Birla Opus, which aims to challenge Asian paints, and they've taken off very well. And one of the things he mentioned was that when sometimes in a category where new players have not come, certain things people just ignore. I mean, like you're talking about certain pain points, but you think that listen, there are so many insurance companies, there are a lot of clever people in there. How do they miss out on something for so many years?
No, I think, see, it is also sometimes when you do things very often and regularly, it automatically becomes a category default. It becomes a category norm. I mean, if it weren't for that, we would not be reading articles right now of Nike's downfall. We will not be reading articles around Starbucks not cracking it in India. It is trying to, I mean, understand the pulse of the consumer and unlocking something that the older brands have not managed to unlock it.
Right.
They are legacy because they stick to
Yeah,
legacy.
sure.
So they become legacy. That's the whole point. But coming to Acko's point, and even if you look at our health insurance campaign, the end line was health insurance में तो ऐसे ही होता है. And then we say नहीं, health insurance की सुबह हो गई है मामू. So all the 3 RTBs, whether it was around 0 waiting period, whether it was around 100% bill payment, or it was around no room rent limit, they were all ignored. Even if you look at your health insurance policies right now, the sub limits, the terms and conditions, the waiting period, the claims and everything is all garbled under the policy document. We said that this is how it's supposed to be done. And that is all it takes for a challenger brand to come, announce yourself, and right now, looking at us, a lot of insurance brands have started looking back at, okay, fine, can we do what they are doing right now?
Yeah. You know, Prateek mentioned that he was with this mattress, and now they've gone into other areas called WakeFit. It's also from Bangalore, right? I interviewed your CEO one or two
Chaitanya.
2 years back, I think. And one of the things, like when you buy a mattress, one of the big worries that you have is that I'll buy this mattress and go home, but will I be comfortable on it? Now, it's a pretty obvious thing that if you buy a mattress, you need to lie down. But until WakeFit came along, if you went to a shop, you couldn't really lie down. You don't lie down how do you lie down and check it out? So WakeFit introduced this thing of take the mattress home, and if you don't like it, return it. Okay?
100-day free trial.
100-day
free trial.
Yeah, 100-day free trial. And there was this thing of, listen, are you guys crazy? Why would you do this? Because you're asking for trouble. People will just use it, take it for weddings and return it, But as it turned out, they didn't. It has worked out very well. And I think now in the category, many other brands have started offering, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
And again, coming to WakeFit, they've also challenged it from all point of view, right? Whether it is 100-day free trial, whether it is mad content, just trying to incorporate the consciousness of sleep in India, which is in generally a hardworking country, sleep-deprived country, and how do you incorporate that messaging of that like so jao? It's okay to miss out on a few things, just sleep. Sleep is like the most ignored thing. So just overly indexing on that particular pain point. So really taking on category defaults and trying to undo something that the category has largely ignored.
Okay. Isha, how did the idea for Clinically actually come about?
So it kind of happened around COVID, where we realized that people lack awareness that yes, there is a thing called dermatologist that you can go to. Before that, what was happening is if you have acne, you just have acne. You put multani mitti on it, you put turmeric paste, you put dahi on it, and you expect it to magically go away. It was all the gharelu nuskes. There was no, set formula that, okay, if you use this ingredient, if you use that ingredient, if you follow a routine, that it can go away faster.
Okay.
And you won't have to deal with the scars that have a lasting impact on your overall confidence as well. When we realized...
So did you, were there a list of like 3-4 ailments around which the idea came, like acne, something else, like 2, 3, 4?
Yes. So what we did was we built an AI system, a recommendation system from all the consults that we have done so far. We have taken all the prescriptions and we have seen the most common skin, hair and nutritional issues that people come to us with. And then we figured out that, okay, these are the top 4 issues that people are consistently coming to us to get solutions for. And they have been dealing with these problems for 4, 5, 6, sometimes lifelong. And as someone who is currently battling a little bit of acne, I can understand that they have a terrible, terrible consequence on your confidence. You would just retract into a shell. You would not want to go out anywhere. So we realize that it is very important to kind of raise that awareness up a notch and tell people that there are professionals who are well adept at handling your case. All you need to do is just come to us. So in order to make that path more convenient and easy, we started that online consult offering, made it very, very affordable for everyone, just so they can come talk to us about their problems and get whatever they want without even stepping out of their house. So during COVID, it was very much important that we stay in our house itself, and it made much more sense. And that is how kind of the story of Clinically kind of happened.
So you were not actually, you didn't have a direct competitor. You were trying to create a market
Yes.
with people who never would have gone to a
Yes.
specialist.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And how did you get the idea actually for this NumroVani? How did it come about?
So see, coming to the idea is something is a very genesis. Astrology has been ingrained into me since the time I started my life. So I have come from a background of generational astrologers and from there on. But thinking of astrology to make it contemporary and solve the business challenges, I come from a background of a rating agency.
Of a?
Rating agency.
Of a rating
So
agency.
I have been the part of one of the largest rating agency in the globe for around 5 years, and another 4 years spread across startups in strategy consulting. And this is where I come into picture. Ki if we combine both the worlds together and make a thing which solves the challenges with the both. So right now also all the solutions that we build is not purely astrology, not purely marketing. So this is something.
So typically, give me an example of typically somebody who comes to you and asks what?
Okay, fair enough. So I will talk about two use cases that we are working right now. The first works around your retail experience. The first thing I personally believe is that right now you cannot sell something. You will have to sell an experience.
Sell?
Experience. So this
Okay.
the user is going to get an experience. If they feel good, they will be with you. If they don't feel good, they're not going to be with you. Whether be it a product or a service or a food or anything. And this is where we come into picture. So two use cases right now that we have pilots working in India as well as in Middle East. One is around aroma marketing. So what we have done is that we have worked with retail stores, specifically spread across healthcare, spas, and other non-food category, and making sure to have an aroma in your store which infuses more emotional connect in the user. And obviously makes the user to spend more time. And obviously the people is going to spend more time, they are going to more likelihood of going to say make a purchase. So this is one thing where we have worked out significantly using the aromas. And most important, we have personalized it. Personalized, so it's a hardcore belief that individual is made up of three things: mind, body, and soul. So you have to connect to your user, you have to connect to the emotions or the say logical parameters of the person. And the best way to reach out to them to understand their emotions, understand their logic, and we are using the aroma, the scents, the music to connect to the user base. So this is one thing that we're working right now.
Okay.
Second thing that we have been a great user case is on color selection. Like if you are if you're choosing a color palette for your digital marketing campaign, that personalizing those color palettes. And this is another area. And most important thing is that whatever we do, we have a research paper to back it. We already have a proven metric to validate it. So for example, when I talk about aroma marketing, or when I talk about getting marketed to your user case. So we have a prior patent published on that, how it is going to personalize you, how it is going to help you out. Third thing we have been doing
So do you have a direct competitor or not really?
So in astrology there are many players, but solving the business challenge right now we don't have a competition. So we are virtually believe ourselves to be a category creator. And the most important, the biggest problem with comes is that there is no evidence. This is pure on belief, and this is what we are trying to break into. Okay, we are creating the evidence first. We are not going on the market and say, hey, believe me and take it out. Rather, we are taking one step back. Let us do our research. Let us have a metric. Okay. Let us have a controlled research papers. Let us have a patent, and then come to you. Hey, this is the evidence. Now I can show you what I can do for you.
Okay, that's interesting. So actually, so two of the three, I think panelists don't have. You're actually in the market creation stage, actually, right? These brands that you represent, you said you got like 200 brands. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, 200 plus.
These all Indian brands, or many are from abroad, or what?
It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag of Indian brands as well as international brands as well.
Okay. So I think, let's just come to, if you look beyond the categories that are represented here, what are the ways in which new brands can gain consumer attention and basically gain strength? What are the unusual ways in which brands can do this?
So see, if I talk about the couple of unusual ways which we did and I feel can be leveraged. So the first thing is that when you are a challenger brand, you are obviously always short of your capital. So you have to make sure that you are running a campaign where you are not investing much, and you have to make a balance out of it. And second thing is that, as in the previous session we were talking about in the previous panel, So sometimes to generate an online persona, you have to go on offline. You
Yeah,
have to
that, they
create.
discuss that, correct.
That can be one approach. Second thing, what we have leveraged is that the branding it out. Branding it out means let the user feel that I am related to it. So we have, say, a community spread across where we don't share only one thing, but we share a lot many things.
How large are these communities?
So see, we have many targeted, segmented communities. If I look at the complete total set of the communities that we manage, it would be somewhere around 50,000-60,000 at this point of time.
Prateek, do you use communities to build interest in insurance, or I mean, how do you use content marketing?
No, so we don't build communities, but yes, there is a lot of content marketing around educational and usefulness that we are trying to build. Now, see, again, as a challenger brand strategy, one very strong strategy that I feel is to have a very strong point of view in terms of your storytelling.
Okay.
You need to pick a conflict. You need to pick a narrative. You need to pick a villain or pick an enemy. For us, the enemy is, I'm not talking about enemy in a traditional sense that your brands are enemy,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you enemies which define the category, which have become category norms. So for example, my enemy could be that, hey, anything that is not a term life insurance is not a true life insurance.
Anything that is?
Not a term life insurance.
Term life insurance, sure.
Is not a true life insurance. The other enemy could be that, how is the right way to choose your IDV or choose your insurance on car. So you need to just pick a very strong lighthouse identity, very focused, and just try and focus on that particular part and make that as your content strategy. How can you give more value, more helpfulness, more usefulness to your consumers? Then the community around it automatically begins. People start following you, people start subscribing to you, look forward to your emails, your engagement goes up. So all of that is fine. But content strategy revolves around defining an enemy or a villain for your story.
Okay, that's true. Have you seen gamifying being used across many categories? You know, whether, I mean, I remember recently I read about Duolingo, which is they help you, they started with English actually, but now they help you learn many languages. And one of the very effective ways in which they did it was that they they basically made a game out of, they found that people drop off. So they made a game out of, hey, you get a little star for coming twice a week, etc., etc. And many people have tried it. I think McDonald's does something, Nike does something. Many brands have tried it. But is it something that it can only be done, I think, where the frequency of usage is high, right? I don't think it's something you can do otherwise. Can you?
I think in our industry, we are in the process of building something very similar. So it's essentially a subscription-based plan, wherein if we see that, okay, this person has been regularly purchasing from us, because skincare is something that if your bottle gets empty every 30th of every month, you will need one on the first if there is a treatment that you're part of. So in that case, we are trying to build a subscription model which is playing on the reward mechanism, that okay, you're purchasing so and so, so now when you're next purchasing, we're giving you this much percentage of discount. On top of that, we're also connecting you to our partner clinics wherein you can go explore some other traditional treatment options.
No, so do you also create a funnel of leads for clinics?
Yes, we also have an omni-channel approach to our marketing as well. So in this way, we are able to hold the customer right in our platform itself, that they want to purchase more and more from us for the reward that they're getting in return. They're getting the partner clinic benefits, they're getting discounts, they're getting birthday benefits, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So for us, I think, see, insurance is a very low involvement category. You buy it once and you hope that you will never come back again and you never get to use that insurance. So for us, our entire strategy is not gamification, I would say, but again, going back to usefulness. What we have developed is a host of features on the Acko app. You can pay your challan on Acko app. You can create your Abha card on Acko app. You can check for your car's resale value on the Acko app. You can check PUC validity on Acko app.
Oh, really?
So all of those things are just reminders for you to come back and just use us.
But that's very clever.
Yeah, that's so anything in it. So the whole goal becomes anything and everything around our category that can be made useful for the consumer, we can do and launch it as a feature on the Acko.
So he or she thinks of you several times a year rather than
Exactly.
only when the premium becomes due.
Exactly, exactly.
Do you think is it possible to place a value on something like this? Meaning, if I stop taking an insurance with Acko, I'll lose access to it, right? If I go to somebody else.
So right now we've opened it up for everyone. It is not something that we say that you can only access this if you are an Acko consumer. But inherent point of view is that we just need to help consumers, and then eventually they will become your customers.
So you would have information on my car challan even if I'm not an Acko consumer.
If you come and check your challan, if you enter your car details, you check your challan, then we will have that.
Fabulous way of getting leads, yeah. Yes, that's really tremendous. And that too through challans. I love
Challenger
the idea.
brands work like that.
You're the challenger brands, okay. So, okay.
And see, even if I take other examples outside the categories that we represent, right, and some of the recent examples, and going back to my finding an enemy and finding a villain in your category.
You sound like a film script writer.
No, so I'll give you examples.
एक villain कौन है इसमें?
I'll give you examples. I'm not sure how many of you have heard the whole truth.
Yeah.
The brand. I mean, their one enemy is that your other food, the other brands are making food claims that you have been served wrongly for years.
Yeah.
And the only way that I, as a brand, a new FMCG entrant, can challenge you by selling you that story, right?
Correct.
Even if you take, say, a big brand like, say, a Patanjali, their enemy is that everything that you're consuming is Western,
Correct.
is non-Swadeshi. So once you rally consumers around a cause, persuasion becomes simple, which is very key for a challenger brand.
Actually. But do you think enough brands do this? Enough challenger brands use this?
Yeah, I think I can give you more examples.
The whole truth is that Shashank Mehta, I think, he's doing a fabulous job.
Yes,
I mean, I don't know how well his business is doing, but everybody.
But at least he's managed to make a mark.
He
I'm
has,
sure
yeah,
business is more than just marketing, so you will have to do a lot of other things as well.
Yeah.
But I'll give you another example. Bumble. Bumble launched after so many years of Tinder. But the whole enemy that Bumble took on was toxic masculinity, right? That I am going to be women first. Women will have a chance to reject or accept a guy, which none of the dating apps are doing. So all of these, there are multiple examples. Apple started off by taking a war against IBM.
Yeah, that's
saying
true.
That
I was not thinking of those. I was thinking of more recent examples from within India.
I'll tell you non-brand examples. Like say, we all say that brands need to start behaving like content creator. But if you say, take an example of Food Farmer, the influencer, the content creator,
I know.
his entire enemy was that the labels that you're reading are misguiding you.
Sure.
Let's take an example of the Fearless Girl. I don't know if you guys have seen in New York, there is a Fearless Girl statue placed right opposite the New York Bull. Without the bull being an enemy, that Fearless Girl wouldn't have any meaning.
Yeah, sure.
And that is why she is a challenger brand.
Sure, that's okay. Okay, we just have a couple of minutes. Does anybody have any questions? I can't even see actually very well. Hi, anyone? Yeah, please, just one second.
Question is to Prateek. So going forward, if you want to challenge the other fintech companies, do you think mutual funds and the other categories is something that you would Acko would be interested in challenging the big brands? Like there is a Zerodha, there are other brands in like mutual funds and stocks. So after insurance, what next?
So I think enough and more work needs to be done in insurance itself right now. As India, we are highly underpenetrated in terms of insurance, health and life both. Acko has managed to gain a lot of market share in the auto insurance space, but health and life is still left. So there's enough room for us to challenge what currently exists in the insurance space, truly become a protection destination for all your assets, and then we will probably see if we can become a finance destination or not.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else? Yes, please. Yeah, hi.
Hey Prateek, this question is for you.
Sorry, could you identify yourself, please? Sorry.
Hi, this is Rohit from Manipal Advertising. So I just have a question, again, two questions maybe. So with Digit coming, right, very similar to what, how Acko went about in the market, right? They become a challenger brand to a challenger brand itself, right? How do you go about having to deal with that, right? And the second question is, again, with the more the legacy brands, they're very, very dependent on their insurance agents, right? And don't you see that maybe you might have to look at that strategy sometime in the future or maybe sooner than later? Just love to hear more thoughts on that.
I think very valid question, especially the second one. So there is a book called How Brands Grow by Byron Sharp.
Okay.
And in that book, he says there are only two ways a brand can grow. One is building mental availability, and second is building physical availability. Mental availability is that when the category is recalled by a consumer, is your brand top of mind or not? And physical availability is that when the consumer is out there in the market to buy, are you available there or not? Which is where the entire omni-channel distribution also happened. So right now, I think Acko is focused on delivering a complete direct-to-consumer experience. From an overall category perspective, what I say is that there is room for enough players to coexist. So we are not going to go through an agent route as of now. We are still going to deliver experience on our app completely digital. I mean, we have vision to not have call centers also in the future if possible. So that's the hope. And there are enough and more examples outside India of companies who have managed to do that successfully without building an agent force. Because only then you deliver the extra value to your consumers in terms of premium, in terms of service, when you remove the commissions that we have over here. So we're still going to opt for that only. Coming to Digit, again, as I mentioned, right, that I don't know who's the challenger brand to who in this case, because both of us sort of launched at the same time, but Acko is actually the only InsurTech brand right now. We are the #1 insurance app in the country. Digit is still testing out and doing insurance in the traditional way with a new layer on it. What we are is completely online right now. So I think not so much of, as I mentioned, that there's enough room for multiple players to coexist. So yeah, that's the thing right now.
I think we've run out of time. Okay, sorry, could you just take the question offline, please? Okay, we ran out a couple of minutes back. Okay, so thank you folks. Thank you very much.